I'm Vanessa Rock the Girl on a Bike. Welcome to my channel. I am going to be talking to you today about sore hands on a motorcycle, because the only way to stay on a bike is with these. But how do we stop them getting blistered and sore? So right now I'm in Tasmania on the Ultimate Cape Escape, which is up there, no, definitely the best off-road, hard enduro, holiday, adventure, touring, riding, holiday, motorbike holiday I've ever been on. The terrain here is absolutely unbelievable. Riding Husqvarna 501s. There's a whole series on my channel about this adventure, what it involves, and something bit of a taste behind the scenes to give you an idea if you want to come do it, including a review of the 501. There's also some videos to know, like, do you want a 500 or do you want a 350? And in this video, we're going to be talking about hands. Now, it is day 2 riding here in Tasmania, and I've obviously done quite a lot of riding over my riding career in the last like 5 or 6 years, including 13-day races. And in a 13-day race, you cannot be getting sore hands because it's not feasible. You can't get to the end of a race with sore hands. And something I've realized from my experience is that sore hands is actually completely avoidable. And in this video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that you can do to stop yourself getting sore hands. But I thought right now we've got a roar of engines. This is the group coming in from the day's ride. Woo! Woo, 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 woo! Dusty people, happy smiles. There's some really exhausted bodies today, but it has been woo, woo, woo! Woo! Right, back to it. It's been an absolutely incredible day. Now, I have got sore hands. And I'm a little bit embarrassed about the fact that I have sore hands, because I should know better than having sore hands. But there's a few things that it's made me think about, and it's why I'm doing this video. Now, in my head, my initial thing was, I've got baby hands. I've got a 14-month-old daughter. I have been riding since she was born, and I rode relatively well into pregnancy. My last ride was 34 weeks, my last proper ride, 22 weeks pregnant. I was doing hard enduro at 9 weeks. Anyway, none of that matters. I haven't been on the bike anywhere near as much as I used to be. And I've been using lots of nice baby bum creams and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought maybe I've got baby hands now, and they're all soft and delicate, and getting back on the bike, they just can't handle. We're doing like 200, 300k days here, and the skin just can't handle it. Now, there is an element of the fact that your skin does get tougher. The more you ride, the more the sort of calluses, I call them puppy pads. After my Africa Eco races, there was definitely little like sort of solid bits of skin here from just sort of the duration of riding. So there is an element of more riding toughens up your hands. But there are lots of things that we can do to help prevent our hands from getting sore. And so I've been riding along for the last day and a half going, my body position must be wrong, because I am hurting my hands and I'm getting blisters, and I have actually got a row of blisters, and I've been doing all these things in my head and it's not worked. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that you need to think about that can help you. Now, the really obviously basic ones is what's on your hands. Now, gloves are personal, but you want to really make sure that you're wearing a pair of gloves that don't have loads of stitching across the palm. Now, these have got a little extra area here, and I know that it's completely seamless on the inside. These are the same style gloves that I do the desert rallies in. I get on with them really well. Find a pair of gloves that suit your hands, and the gloves can give you fatigue. It's also possible to get palm savers. There's a Serbish ones, I don't even know what brand this is. You put your hand in and it gives you an extra layer within your gloves, and that prevents, it gives a rubbing thing. So it's almost like with hiking, you often wear 2 pairs of thin socks so that the socks rub instead of your skin rubbing. Now, these to me are really good if you're doing a lot of riding and you just know your skin isn't going to hold up to it, but they're kind of if we were looking at the medical world, this would be just treating the symptoms as opposed to looking at what the cause is. This doesn't stop you getting the sore hands. The body position is what's going to protect your hands. So there's a few things that you can think about on the bike. The first one is your center of balance. And when you get on a bike, you should be able to find your position on the bike, and you should be able to sit down and stand up from your position without your hands. And if you can't do that, then you're not in the right balance position. You've got lots of grip. A trick that Pete from Dust Devils in Spain, and I do off-road training sessions there, so if you want to come do some training with me, you can. A trick he says is to put your boots in on an angle, put your foot on the peg, and then put your weight down, and that locks your ankle into the bike with way more grip, and that enables your legs to do a lot of the work, and you should be able to move right around on the bike really easily. Now, if you're not able to do that, think about where your feet are, think about where your grab is. Most of these enduro bikes have a narrow point. That narrow point's there for a reason, to help you stay in that position. You then want to think about your hands on the bars, and you want to be aggressive. You want to have your elbows up, and you want to have your hands running parallel along the bar. Now, something that you can try at home is get yourself a broom. I don't know if I've got a stick. Yep, we've got a stick right here. Oh, okay, I'm in Tasmania, so this isn't a stick, it's actually a piece of bark, but it will work for demonstrations. So if you get yourself a broom and hold on to it like this, and get someone to try and wrestle you to take this broom off with your arms in like this, it'll be really easy. They'll be able to pull it all around. If you get your arms up and your elbows out and go like this, it will be so much harder for them to wrestle that broom out of you. And that's the same thing on the handlebars. All the feedback that's coming out, you've got your massive back muscles engaged to hold it. So you're going to do the same thing on the handlebars. And in combination with that, you're going to be thinking about your body position. If you're going downhill, if you're really forwards over the bars, your elbows tend to want to be on the same angle going down as your front forks. So that's an easy one to think about. But if you're going downhill and you're staying right forwards, all of your weight's going to be on your hands. You've got to think about, majority of the time, unless you're hitting something technical, you should be able to take a hand off the bars at any point. And that will be that your body is balanced. So as you go uphill, your weight's naturally going to go back a little bit and forward a little bit, and that's going to take the weight off your palms. The actual angle of your hands on the bars massively changes with your elbows. If your elbows are up, your hands will fit with the handlebars going right across. If your arms are in, it's going to go on an angle across your hand, and that's when you start to get more of an upset, because you're not able to hold on with that full grip, the full palm. You end up putting pressure points because part of your palm is on the grip. You then got your levers. Now, levers can be difficult, particularly if you are a smaller handed person, possibly a female. These bikes seem to be built for Goliath hands. A lot of bikes do have adjustment on the levers, so there's a little spinny bit here that can put the lever in and out. Not all bikes do. So a trick that you can do for that is actually the mounting point of your lever. You can slide in and out along the bars. And that enables you, if you were to look at the shape of the lever, enables you to get the bit with the closest proximity to the grip nearest your finger. Bearing in mind, in off-road riding, you always want these two covering the levers. You can always spot an off-road rider on a road bike because their fingers will just be floating around. Now, you've got your gloves, your grip, your hands, your things, your body moving forwards. Turning with your heels really helps. So I think if you were to give a little kid a bike, or someone that doesn't know how to ride a bike, and ask them, how do you turn a motorcycle? They'll go like this. This is not how you turn a motorcycle. You turn a motorcycle with the weight and the pegs and the movement of your body and the bike. And one of the things that you want to think about is the weight going into your heels. If you put your weight into heels, let me put it back up on the side stand again. Thankfully, these bikes here have got proper side stands on them. You don't want to be doing this on a lot of enduro bikes. But if you come back round and then look at my heel, so if we look here with my feet on the pegs, if I want to turn to the right, if I drop my right heel, that is naturally turning my hips. It's naturally putting my left knee in and my right knee back slightly, pincing on the bike. And that movement alone is going to turn the bike round the corner. Shoulders go, head goes, eyes go where you're looking. You're not pulling with your arms. So it's really important to be using the woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. See, it turns the bike, came off the side stand. So it's really important to use your weight and your leverage on the bike to handle it, not our little muscles and the skin on our hands to turn it. So that's a whole load of different things that you got to think about. Now, I have been riding along for the last day and a half, having not been on a bike for a while. As I said, I've got a 14-month-old right now, and just absolutely beating myself up for the fact that I'm not doing it right, my body's wrong, I can't figure it out, my hands are hurting. I got blisters all the way along. Thankfully, Kerry lent me these little palm savers this morning, so I haven't actually popped the blisters today. And then I suddenly realised, riding along, that my left lever, because my right hand's okay, but my left lever is just slightly out of reach. And so no amount of doing all the things I've just talked about is enabling my hand to engage on the grips. Oh, grips are another one. You can get some really disgusting, aggressive grips. Obviously you want grip, especially if you're in muddy riding, you want some texture on there, but sometimes the wrong grips can give you quite a lot of hand fatigue. Anyway, and I realised that my lever was in the wrong place, and a tiny little twist, I didn't even need a tool, that is what's so frustrating, so I feel like a tool. Anyway, a tiny little twist, I've managed to get the lever in. I've now got lock and loaded, I can fully cover and fully use the clutch with the grip straight across my palm, and within seconds riding away, I couldn't even feel the blisters. I am naturally blonde, people, so I'm just going to go with that. Every day is a learning day, but hopefully this video is giving you a few ideas on how to protect your hands on a motorcycle. Sore hands is a sign of your body position not being correct. Now, obviously, if you are doing crazy endurance for a really, really long period of time, there's always going to be an element of bodies can only handle so much, and there's a lot of friction and movement, etc. going on. Trying to relax is really helpful. Trying to get yourself bike time and build your own stamina and build the strength of your skin is really important. But those tips, body position, thinking about it in your head, being really aware, if you're really pulling on the bars or you're really pushing on them, your body position isn't quite right. Let me know if you think there's any other tips or things that go towards protecting your hands on a motorcycle in the comments, and let me know where you are in the world and what you ride, because I really love hearing from you. Please also hit the bell to get notifications and subscribe if you enjoy my channel. There's a whole load of videos on my channel, from tips on skill training, things for beginners, places in the world to go and visit. There's of course the series on the trip I'm on right now in Tasmania, which is an island off the south of Australia. I haven't seen a devil yet, but I'm keeping my eye out, and thankfully I haven't hit a kangaroo. Breathe, Vanessa. I'm Vanessa Rutt, the girl on a bike. Thanks for watching.